Hi, my name is Bill Benito, and I want to show you some things that Bruce Rieder has done for me over the years. This is the house that I'm presently living in. Uh, I've known Bruce for over 40 years. We used to bowl together. And whenever I had work to do, Bruce and I would get together and we'd talk about what I wanted, and he'd tell me what he thought we could do and what we couldn't do. And sometimes we just sit on a 5-gallon bucket in a spot in my house or my rec room or whatever and discuss things. There was even times where we would paint lines on the wall and see if we liked it. You're looking at a door that he installed for me a couple of years ago. But what I want to show you is the work that he did in my rec room. It was a basement. It's a walkout. Now, these stairs here were, they used to just go straight down and left and right at the bottom. You could go into the workroom on the left, or you could go into the unfinished basement on the right. I shouldn't even call it a basement. He told me how we had to do this. I had a stairman do the stairs, but Bruce did all the trim and figured out how we had to do all the rest of it. Of course, we had to get the height, so Bruce took care of the height. And then, as we come down here, this is a long basement, and I didn't want it to look like a bowling alley, a real long basement. So I said, Bruce, we got to be able to break it up. So Bruce came up with the idea of putting in beams across here and up here and put the bar in the center. So I'm going to take you around and show you some of the handiwork that he did. Now up here, all of these panels come out, and that's where the plumbing is. So all those panels come out. There's special screws in them, so you can take any one of them or all of them out and get to any of the plumbing that runs along. Now, one of the neat things that Bruce did was, this is a normal sized door. And he said, you know, if we're gonna be putting 3 doors, we want all the doors to look the same height. Well, one of the problems is that there's a main beam running down inside of here, which I don't know if you can see, maybe not with a light on, but the door is taller because of this beam here. He closed it in, but now the doors are all the same height. Here's a bathroom we put in. And again, you can see how the beam was covered. This bathroom we did in tile. I had my father-in-law do the tile in here, and I've got accent lightings that change color. But you know, Bruce designed the size of the bathroom. So here we broke it up. Again, these are all panels that Bruce came up with to make this look like a nice high-end pub. Let me turn some more lights on so you can see a little better. The lighting is what I do. I'll sit there with lights hooked up temporarily and see how they flood and things, and pick out the lights I want. So all of this molding, we like this molding here, the features on and the different cuts on it. So we had this molding made up by a woodworker, and then the framing on things, this is the same, this molding here is the same molding as this, with this part over here cut off. So this piece here and this are exactly the same. So again, these are panels that Bruce said, well, we started out, this was one of our bucket talks where we sat here and we looked and we painted and said, okay, do we want 5 panels? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal panels? or do we want different? So Bruce said, how about we go with 4 panels, and we went with a narrow, a big one, and a small one. So Bruce hung, by the way, Bruce hung all these ceilings here. They're all hung ceilings, and cut it out for the lights. And this bar. Okay, here's the bar. And I ordered the bar top according to the size that Bruce wanted. And he installed this rail here. And he installed, I don't know if you can see them, all the decorative supports. And he did all the picture framing under here to match the rest. So everything you see here except for the tile, Bruce did. This bar here, which, you know, we've got decorated now. Speaking of this beam, here's an interesting story about this beam. I didn't know what kind of beam I wanted, how I wanted it to look. So Bruce mocked up 3 different styles. He put one here, he put one in the middle, and he put one out on the other side. And every day I walked in while he was working, and I looked at him, and I said, and I finally said, oh, get rid of that one. I don't like that one as much as I like these 2. A few days later, because he was doing other work, I finally said, get rid of that one. I like this one best. He says, that's what you want? I said, yeah. He takes the piece down, the mock-up down, and inside he wrote, this is the one Bill's gonna pick. That's how well we knew each other. So the beams look really nice, and again, it looks like 2 separate rooms, the bar from the game room. And the bar, speaking of the bar, he built this bar, framed it, and then skinned it, put the drawers in, you know, all this stuff here. He didn't put the granite on, we had that custom done, but he did build the shelves that I wanted and a way of hanging the glasses and building a light up in here with a mirror. This is actually 3 mirrors. Hi, you can see me. This is 3 mirrors. He put the shelf holder in, and then we had the mirrors cut for the 3 spots. And again, here's all the molding that he used that we had cut. We put central vac in. And then this is the home theater, which you can see this is like a separate room of its own. Now the home theater, I had a fireplace installed, a gas fireplace. Now the gas fireplace was just, Bruce got the requirements they wanted, and once that was in and it was boxed in and it was all set up, I wanted to have it used, I wanted to have some type of woodwork around it. And I got this sapele wood, which is a very beautiful wood, and Bruce cut it and fit it. And I mean, there's things here that the fit of this is, you know, it's unbelievable, the fit. You know, he just did such a good job with this. And then he built these cupboards on both sides, and I had to have a space for my stereo. And because the stove stuck out, we had all this extra room, and I had a basement window there. So instead of taking the window out, what I did was I had an old 7-Up front to a Coke machine, and Bruce cut it and fit it in there, and then built shelves to fit in here. So again, all of this work, you know, the decoration Bruce didn't do, but all of the work woodworking, the layout of it. I wanted to have the seats raised, so Bruce made the riser that you see down here. I covered it and then he put it in. But before we got started, we said, okay, we got to get all of the utilities out of the ceiling area. So we had them moved, and Bruce put in this pocket door. It's going to be hard to see. I guess I got to slide it, but you can't even hear it slide. So all the utilities were put in here, and all the piping was moved prior to Bruce building all of this. Again, I'm going to be quiet and listen to this door. You know, you can hardly hear it move. It moves so beautiful. So I had two issues. What we were going to do with the sump pump and the electrical box. So I knew that I had this bowling machine. So Bruce measured it and said, okay, why don't we have over here, why don't we have this pocket come out the width you need for the bowling machine, and then we'll have an angled door, and then we'll meet the same angle on the other side. So when he installed this walkout door, he made all this up, and here's my dartboard, and the dartboard's got a nice place for the darts here. All the darts stay in here, but we wanted to get in and we didn't want to have handles and stuff, so again, I needed somebody else to be filming this. I may do it again. This is the utility where the sump pump is and the electrical is. So this door here, he made that so it looks like a dartboard, but that contains all of my utilities. And just so, I mean, here's a frame he made. He made for the dartboard. He used the same parts of the molding for the dartboard. So the man, a lot of you people know Bruce the last few years, maybe 10 years or so, especially since he got cancer and we've been doing all these benefits, or a lot of people have been doing a lot of things for him, but they don't know the craftsman that this man is. You know, look at this. You'd think you were in a millionaire's house, and I feel like a millionaire when I look at the work that Bruce did for me. All of this work, and you can't see in these walls. If you could, you would see the lines on the cement wall that we did to break it up and measure it and see if we liked it. Then you would see the waterproofing, and then the separation between the wall and this wall to have an air gap, and the insulation again, and all the things that he had done. And this is just one of the many things that Bruce did over the years for me. I sit here a lot and I look at it, and Bruce always seemed to make one mistake, and I think he made it on purpose. And he'd say, you know, I screwed up on one, and he wouldn't tell me where he screwed up. So I would look for it for years. The other place that I had on Hackmatack in Manchester, he did that rec room and bar too. I found it after about 6 months. I found it, but I still haven't found it here. You know, I haven't found anything that he did that was wrong. You know, could he have put a piece of molding in upside down? No, he didn't do that. Is something cut wrong in the ceiling? You know, nothing. The doors are perfect. So I never found any of his mistakes, or I shouldn't say mistake. The one thing what happens is he would do something and he would have had to have a lot to correct it, but nobody but Bruce knew that it was there, and he would tell me, you know, you can find it, and I still haven't found it. So I just wanted to do this video for people to know the craftsman that Bruce is. He's not a carpenter. He's not a, yes, can he frame a house? Yes, he built his own house. He built a complete house himself, and he did some amazing things. He did a tremendous amount. I got a barn out back that he built. I might do a video on that. So, yeah, could he do the carpentry stuff? Yeah, but he is a master carpenter that can do craftsmanship. He could do furniture. He could do the fine details that nobody would believe. And, you know, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have known him all these years from us being drunks in a bowling alley to a long-lasting friendship of having good times and bad times. But I have things that I will have this for the rest of my life. I don't know how long I'll have Bruce in my life. I pray for the best for him. But his cancer can sometimes do things that there's nothing we can do about. But the thing that I will always have is Bruce, the fingers and the thoughts and the hand, the workmanship of Bruce will be here forever. If I'm not here someday and this house goes to somebody else, they'll say, oh, look at this. And they'll think it's a beautiful job, but they'll have no idea what Bruce did to build this place. And if you were to see it in person, everybody just can't believe that this is what I have. So, Bruce, I'm putting this video up for you. I know it's a long video, it's 17 minutes. I wish somebody videoed me pointing things out, it would have been easier. But this is who Bruce is and what he can do.